Hi, this is Mr. USA 2006 WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas, and you are listening to Cheer Shot to the Cranium. Yeah, baby.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Cheer Shots to the Cranium. I am your host, Stephen Goforth. Before I bring in my co-host, Addison, aka Addy Go, to do our predictions for Crown Jewel, I want to remind all of you to go follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. It's Cheer 2 Cranium on Instagram, Twitter, and on Facebook. Whatever platform you're listening on, whether it's Google Play, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Apple iTunes, go subscribe to us. Pause this show right this second. Go subscribe. That way you get alerts as to when we have new shows that come out. And if you wouldn't mind, please give us a 5-star rating. It's greatly appreciated because the more ratings we can get on this show, the more ears that will hear us. So thank you so much for any help you can provide to us on those ratings. A 5-star rating is always tremendously appreciated. So thank you for your time on that. Got a lot of matches we're going to predict, and we're also going to update you on our overall prediction record for the year. We're starting to narrow down to the final pay-per-view of the season here soon, and we'll have our final predictions that we will unveil at that time. I also want to let all of you know that we do have some really cool watch-along shows that are going to come your way here soon. I'm really excited about that. Addison and I are going to sit down, watch some matches from the past, and kind of give you our thoughts on that. Some of these will be matches that I haven't seen in many, many years, and some of the matches that Addison has never seen before in her life. So that'll be really interesting to see or to hear her take on these matches. So really super excited about that one and cannot wait to bring that to you. All right, so without further ado, let's head right into our prediction show.
Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to our prediction show. I am Addison, and aka Addigo, and I'm here with my dad, Steven. How are you doing today?
I am doing well. How about yourself?
Good.
So, nice little intro there. Thanks for kicking us off.
You're welcome.
Don't get to do that very often, do you?
No, I don't.
Yeah, so I'm excited about this pay-per-view. We did not get to do a prediction show last time, as most of you know. Time constraints just forbid it to happen, and so we had to do our predictions by circling the pictures and posted it on our social media pages, and that's how we did it. So we're back for this prediction show, and we are super excited.
Yes, very excited.
All right, so before we jump into these predictions, let's update everybody on where we stand on the overall prediction record. So for the last pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell, as many of you know, that was a debacle by WWE, and don't know what the heck they were thinking on that one. It's kind of like they said, uh-oh, it's Saturday, and we don't have enough matches for Hell in a Cell, and so they added a bunch. So as of the time we predicted it, we only had like 4 matches to predict. Mm-hmm. So we predicted just on that, and of course they added, I think, 2 or 3 more after that. So that being said, if you follow us on social media, again, Cheer 2 Cranium. It's Cheer 2 Cranium on Instagram, Twitter, and on Facebook. Posted on there that Addison beat me. She went 3-1, so congratulations.
Yep.
And I went 2-2. So that brings our final or overall prediction record to Addison with 72 wins, 37 losses, and then myself with 73 wins, 36 losses. So I have a 1 game or 1 match advantage.
Yeah.
Narrowly hanging on.
Yeah. I'm going to win. I am going to win. I am going to win.
Okay. Well, you better. I mean, because we got what? This one, we've got Survivor Series. And then TLC. So, you don't have very many chances to take that lead. So we shall see what happens on that. So again, 72 wins, 37 losses for Addison, 73 wins, 36 losses for myself heading in to this one. All right, let's kick it off. You ready?
Yeah.
You think you got the predictions nailed down this time?
Yeah, I think I got it.
Okay, all right.
What about you?
I don't know. We'll see. I'm a little nervous about this one, I say that on a lot of these prediction shows, and I come out better than I thought. But I don't know. It could go either way. Let's find out what happens here. So let's jump right into it. So the match we're going to start with is Mansoor versus Cesaro, and as many of you know, at the last show they did in Saudi Arabia, Mansoor won the Battle Royal, the 50-man Battle Royal, and the place went absolutely ballistic. They were super pumped that he won that, and rightfully so, because he's from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. And they could not be happier. I tell you one thing I do remember about that was the kids it showed in the crowd how excited they were for him. I mean, you could just tell that he is a huge role model in Saudi Arabia for some of these kids.
Yeah, I bet.
So congrats to him on that, and he's also signed with NXT.
Yeah.
And doing some really good things in NXT so far. So I'm gonna let you start with this one.
I don't really know Mansoor that much, or like how he per se wrestles, because I don't really watch NXT that much, and he's just like recently been on WWE, and so I don't really know. I'm kind of confused about this one for me, but that's just my fault because I haven't been watching everything that much lately. So I'm just gonna go with Mansoor because obviously they're gonna be in Saudi Arabia, and I just think that everybody would be really disappointed if he didn't win the match in his home country.
I agree. I think that he is definitely the odds-on favorite to take that win. So I am also going with Mansoor to beat Cesaro and make his fellow countrymen and women very, very happy with that.
Yep.
All right, so let's go into the tag team turmoil. So we have a lot of teams involved in this, and so they are competing for the right to be called the best tag team in the world, going for the World Cup, similar to what Shane McMahon won and declaring himself best in the world when he took the cup the other time that they were in Saudi Arabia. So, best tag team in the world. Let's run down the tag team, shall we?
The tag teams that are participating in the largest tag team turmoil match in history are the New Day, the Viking Raiders, Heavy Machinery, Lucha House Party, Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, The Revival, the OC, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, and the B Team.
It's a lot of teams.
Yep.
That is a ton of teams. I'm just curious to see how the heck they're going to manage all this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be absolute chaos. Of course, as they said, the largest tag team turmoil match ever in history. A lot of teams to predict here or choose from. This is a tough one because you got a lot of really good tag teams in this thing. Who do you think?
I'm going to go with Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode just because I think that they're really good, and I think they've trained really long and hard for this, and they're just really good as a tag team.
Okay, yeah, they are very good as a tag team. Of course, they're coming off being tag team champions not long ago. I think they make a great team. I think that's actually a pretty good pick. I could very much see that happening. I personally am going to go with the Revival. I think the Revival loves to talk about the fact that they're the greatest tag team that has ever existed, and certainly that exists today. And I think that they would absolutely love to brag about that more so than they already do. And let me tell you another reason why I think this is going to happen. Because not so long ago, they were aligned with the self-proclaimed, I guess you couldn't say self-proclaimed because he won the match, best in the world, and Shane McMahon. So, could Shane McMahon have some sort of hand in the Revival taking this victory? It's already been rumored that Shane McMahon has been spotted in Saudi Arabia, and whether he's there just to help with the show or whether he's going to make an appearance, who knows? I think that maybe he may be involved in terms of presenting the trophy, or since he was the best in the world. So it'll be interesting to see, but I'm going to go with the Revival.
Okay, well, that's it's all right. It's a good pick, I guess.
All right.
Not as good as mine.
Well, we shall see on that. So, United States Championship match. Of course, we do not know who the opponent for AJ Styles is going to be because they're going to have a battle royal earlier in the show to determine his opponent. So, what we thought we would do here is just predict whether or not AJ Styles was going to retain the title. I'm going to say, no matter who his opponent is, AJ Styles will retain the United States Championship.
I usually look at whatever the person that has the belt or whether they're just facing them for just a good match. I look at who they're facing to determine on whether or not they're going to either retain, lose the belt, or just not win. So I can't do that, obviously, because AJ Styles doesn't have an opponent. So this is kind of like a really hard choice, I guess you could say, for me to pick, I guess. Because, I usually look at the opponent who they're going against to see whether or not they're going to win.
Right.
So, again, it's hard. But I think he's going to retain.
Okay.
Because, he is a heel, and, heels are pretty powerful.
Yeah, they can be. And they oftentimes rely on help from their friends.
Yes.
In this case, the rest of the OC.
Yes.
And Gallows and Anderson. So, it'll be interesting. So, that's another reason kind of why I picked AJ Styles is because I know he's got some help in his corner.
Yeah, he's got the upper hand.
Yeah, he does. Very much so. All right, so AJ Styles is going to retain for you and for myself. So it looks like we differ from one so far, and that's the Tag Team Turmoil match. Yep. All right, let's head into what I'm really excited about from my childhood, Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan. So I'm super, super excited about that one. And I thought it was a fantastic idea that they come up with this. You got two of the greatest of all time in Hogan and Flair being involved in this tremendous show. And I was a little disappointed with the wrestlers that they chose to be on their teams. I'll talk about that here in just a second. But Addison, why don't you run down the participants in this match?
Alrighty then. We have, for Team Hogan, we have Roman Reigns, Ricochet, Rusev, Ali, and Shorty G. And then we have Team Flair with Randy Orton, King Corbin, Shinsuke Nakamura, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, I don't want to take anything away from Shorty G. All right. I like Chad Gable. I think Chad Gable's fantastic. Do I like the Shorty G gimmick? No. I don't like the basketball uniform they put him in. I think it looks absolutely silly. And I think they could have done better with that one. Playing on this whole short thing, I think, is ridiculous because there's plenty of other wrestlers. If you look at Ali, he's not too far off in terms of height. So many other wrestlers in WWE that is very similar in height to Shorty G, and I think it's silly. I think he's a wonderful wrestler. This guy won an Olympic. Yeah. He's an Olympic wrestler. Okay? If you have an Olympic wrestler, that guy can take just about everybody in that locker room. I mean, he's that good.
Yeah.
If they got on the mat together and they put on some real wrestling holds and they just figured out who's going to be the winner here, it'd be Chad Gable.
Yeah.
He's that good. So why not play up on that? Why not play up on what his strengths are? You did that with Kurt Angle. Why not do that with Chad Gable?
Right.
So anyway, I had to go off on that rant. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I just had to get that out. That's been kind of bouncing around in my cranium for weeks and driving me nuts seeing what they're doing with this guy.
Yeah, like when you think of you hear the name Shorty G, you think about oh, he must be imitating a rapper or something. Like a rapper, he's trying to act like a cool rapper,
Maybe.
All that.
Yeah.
No. He's not. He's apparently dressed up in a basketball uniform, and I just think, like you said, that's very stupid.
I would rather see him trying to impersonate a rapper than to dress up like a basketball player.
Right.
I don't know. With a big G on his chest. I don't know. Anyway, so sorry, got off on a little tangent there. You want me to go first on this one?
Sure.
All right. So Team Hogan looks really impressive. I'm taking away the fact that Shorty G is who he is. I'm going to look at him for Chad Gable. I don't know. This one's a tough one because they're stacked on both sides. I think I'm going to go with Team Hogan. I think that at the end of this match, the fans in Saudi Arabia are going to go crazy when they can hear Hulk Hogan's theme music played at the end, and they're all standing there and celebrate with one another. And I obviously think that your two biggest players here on the team being Roman Reigns and, in my opinion, Ricochet. I think that's your two strengths. Rusev's got a lot of drama going on in his life with Lana, Ali, and I almost said Shorty G. I refuse to say that. Chad Gable are extremely talented individuals. I love both of them, and they certainly will contribute to this match. But I think in the end, it's going to come down to Roman Reigns and Ricochet's influence on this team that's going to take them to the victory.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that one just because, like you said, they have, lots of, really tough people in their group. Like you named Roman Reigns and Ricochet. And I was about to say Shorty G too.
Yeah,
Chad Gable.
Yeah.
They just lots of I think that's just a really strong team.
And I'm not trying to take anything away from Team Flair. Randy Orton, King Corbin, who's come a tremendously long way with this with his character and his performances. Shinsuke Nakamura is an Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley, a former champion. Drew McIntyre. They're stacked on Team Flair.
Right.
But, you think Team Hogan as well?
Yes.
All right, so we agree on that one. All right, let's head into Braun Strowman versus Tyson Fury. So Tyson Fury, I feel like being brought in here is more of a novelty act, I guess you could call it, bringing more eyes to WWE. I think that's fantastic. And I don't know that we should see Tyson Fury walk away with this victory. I think that it would, to me personally, I think it would be damaging to Braun Strowman and everything they're trying to do with Braun Strowman and everything Braun Strowman is trying to do for his career. So I'm going to go with Braun Strowman.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Braun Strowman too because, he's just a very big man. And, if I was in, Tyson Fury's place, I'd be scared. Because,
but have you seen Tyson? You've seen Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury's a very big man. Now, not as wide as Braun Strowman, but as tall.
Big, yeah. But, I'd be really scared if I had to go against Braun Strowman.
Who wouldn't?
And I don't want to say new, but I have just made an appearance on the WWE and then pay-per-view. And that's really nerve-wracking. And, just in my place, I feel like I would let that get to me a little too much.
Do you think he's going to be overwhelmed with the fact that where he is and the ring he's in, it's a different ring he's in?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying
I can
to get
see
at,
that, So you think that's going to be too much for him?
I think that's just going to be way too much for him. I think he's just going to, it's an overload.
Okay, I agree. Overload, I think, is a fantastic word to use. I think that he's going to be overloaded with all that's around him. Completely different environment than the boxing ring. And
you have to think about the fans. The fans, they don't really know Tyson Fury that much or that good like they do Braun Strowman.
And let's talk about the fans for a second, okay? Right. How often or how many times has Tyson Fury been on that big of a stage in front of that many people?
Right.
Can he handle that?
Right.
I don't think so, neither do you. All right. So Braun Strowman will come out as your winner. Yeah. All right, let's go into the WWE Championship match. Brock Lesnar versus his old nemesis in UFC, Cain Velasquez. And I'm really excited about this one. I know that Cain Velasquez has been doing a lot of training for this match. New to the world of wrestling, comes from UFC. His record and his accomplishments in UFC speak for themselves. Obviously, the man who beat Brock Lesnar for that UFC championship and clearly pointed out the man who gave him that scar underneath the eye and claims he's going to give him a scar underneath the other eye. So I'm really excited about this. I think we finally get a guy in the ring with Brock Lesnar that, number one, intimidates Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Goldberg was close, but not like Cain Velasquez. No. And I think this guy is going to take it to him, and I cannot wait to see the kind of match these guys put on together.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look back. When Cain Velasquez first came out to that ring, just in your mind, I need you to just picture the face that was on Brock Lesnar.
Oh yeah, it was
I've never
unforgettable.
seen. I don't think I've ever seen that face on Brock Lesnar.
Nobody has.
The Beast.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar.
He clearly had fear in his eyes.
You could tell.
Yeah.
You
I
could
agree.
tell. And you could tell he was like, "Oh my gosh, I don't think I can do this again. Like I cannot do this." Like you could tell by the look on his face.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's an obvious answer that Cain Velasquez is just gonna beat him to death.
So you think Cain Velasquez is going to beat Brock Lesnar and take the WWE Championship on his debut match in WWE?
Yes.
That's bold right there.
That's bold.
That's a bold prediction.
It's bold.
Okay.
But
I respect that. I respect your boldness.
It's just, I think I'm getting really tired of Brock Lesnar just keep on getting that title back, and I'm just like, can somebody just take it away from him, please?
Certainly,
just do it.
Certainly, Cain Velasquez can be that guy.
Yeah.
So not a bad pick. I just think it's a bold pick. I'm going to say Brock Lesnar retains. I think this is a chance for Brock Lesnar to get revenge on Velasquez for taking his UFC championship, for putting that scar underneath his eye. I think he's going to be determined to go in there and prove the fact that last loss he had to Velasquez in UFC was a fluke, and that he is the man. And now Velasquez is in his yard, in the wrestling ring, and I think Brock Lesnar has a lot to prove there. I think he's going to be your winner. I think he retains.
Yeah, it's definitely going to get wild.
It is. Again, very excited. But this is probably the one I'm most excited about for the whole show.
Maybe. Okay, let's go into the next match. This match is for the Universal Championship. Seth Rollins versus The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. This is a false count anywhere match. This is going to be great. I just already know. Because these two men in the ring together, I literally just love it. And I don't like Bray Wyatt at all. Like, that mask is literally the scariest mask I've ever seen. Ever.
It is.
It's so realistic, and it looks like it's actually on his face. Like, it's actually him.
It does. They did a great job with that mask.
It's great. But it's just... It's great, and I love their chemistry together in the ring. They just put on a great show. A great show.
Okay.
It's great.
I don't disagree with that.
So I'm gonna go, but I think no hate on Seth Rollins. Like, I love Seth Rollins. He's like a great wrestler. He's a great wrestler. But I think Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, is gonna win. I think that's his time because he's been really, I don't know, I don't want to say scaring Seth Rollins, but he's definitely been beating him, like, and getting closer and closer and closer to his revenge.
Yeah, I think that he's definitely been playing a lot of mind games with Seth Rollins, no doubt about that. And we saw that in Hell in a Cell, as terrible as that match obviously was, and how terrible the ending was to that match, and how it made absolutely no sense. I could see where they were going with this, and that Seth Rollins just lost it. All these mind games that the Fiend has been playing with him and on him, and he just had enough, and he snapped.
Right.
And I like the fact that it's false count anywhere. Hopefully, we won't see a DQ in this match. We shouldn't. And I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think the Fiend is going to win the the Universal Championship and beat Seth Rollins. I think because if this does not happen, we're going to see a tremendous amount of backlash from the fans. And if you want to keep Seth Rollins as your top babyface in the company, he's got to lose this one, I think, because if he wins it, I think people are going to turn on him because it's obvious right now that the Fiend has a tremendous amount of momentum and a tremendous amount of popularity with the WWE Universe.
Yeah.
That being said, and not taking anything away from Bray Wyatt and his abilities. I think that he's definitely going to go in there and walk out as the new Universal Champion.
Yeah, I think so too. It's definitely probably going to happen. Just because it's definitely going to get crazy in there.
It's going to get crazy. No doubt about it. It's going to be it's going to be interesting to see where they go throughout that arena.
And that's what I love about that, because obviously it's going to be like an interesting match, like really interesting, but it's going to make it even more interesting when they don't just stick in the ring.
Yeah.
It's going to get so much more interesting when they actually go outside,
in the stands, in the concession area, wherever you're going to go.
That's just that's a lot of I don't know how I should say it, but
drama.
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah, I would love to see him go outside.
Oh, yeah.
Make your way outside the arena. That would be kind of neat. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be entertaining.
Yeah, definitely.
I think both of those gentlemen want to redeem that debacle of a match that took place in Hell in a Cell. So I think we're going to see a really good performance by both of them.
Yep.
All right, so that does it for our prediction show. As I mentioned in the pre-show announcements that I made, we are going to have a watch-along coming along here real soon. How this is going to work is we're going to dial up a match on the WWE Network. We're going to ask that you watch along with us. We push play at the same time, and we watch this match together. And we're going to talk about what we see in the match, a little bit of history behind that match, and maybe some things that may have come from that match. So I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a match that Addison has never seen before in her life, and I think that's going to be really cool to be able to see her reaction to this. And it's going to be a match that we're going to revisit, and it was very, very instrumental in me becoming a fan of professional wrestling. We will reveal, I should say, that match on our social media here real soon. So again, if you don't follow us, please do so on Instagram and on Twitter and on Facebook. It's Chair, the number 2 Cranium, Chair 2 Cranium on Instagram, Twitter, and on Facebook. And then we will reveal the match that we will be watching together. And this is not going to be the only one. We're going to do more of these, and we hope that you will enjoy it. We hope that you will join us and enjoy it as much as we will. All right, so that does it, and I cannot thank you enough for pushing the play button wherever you are and whatever you're doing. We really appreciate your support, and don't forget to go subscribe, and don't forget to go give us that 5-star rating. Much appreciated, much needed if we're going to get our podcast out there more to the world of professional wrestling.
Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a good one. Enjoy Crown Jewel. And thank you for taking another chair shot to the cranium.
Adios.